Metafide calling in today for a live supercharged event, April 29th at 10 o'clock a.m. Sorry, we're a little delayed this morning. We're working on a couple things, but now we are back at it, here to play in the game. Good to see everyone for joining in. Just in time for the dumpening.
Our favorite time of morning.
Miss Karen Jane Street, that freaking old lady lives down your road and is always yelling at you. She's freaking great at dumping Bitcoin. I don't know what it is about her and the rest of the Karens. Maybe it's a Karen collective out there, but these freaking Karens, man, they're trying to wreck our Bitcoin. We're not going to let it happen. We got Blockchain Bane in there. I saw he hit a 3x already. That dude is hot as hell. He hit a 10x the other day. I've seen him helping out our community with the Bane bots. He's got a whole group of guys already checking out, using his stuff. So, check out those Bane bots. Shout out Blockchain Bane. Yeti coming over here in second with the 2x, followed by MXAK in the 2x. Sailor, maybe that's the Michael Sailor. Who knows? He's got 2x out there. Miracle's got a 2x. T-Man's got a 2x. Sultana with the 2x. Keenanai with the 2x. And Vitalik Buterin with the 2x. Why do they freaking let this communist in here, Freaking Vitalik doesn't care about the ETH price. He's never done anything good for ETH. He just allows it to mint more into circulation. This freaking twig out there, repping Ethereum is not a good representation for the company. So if you guys want to debate me on it, please do. And I could debate you on health, and being that skinny and that tiny is not good for your body. The guy looks like he's got death in his eyes. He's walking around with 2 raccoon eyes because he's never eaten enough. He's never sleeping enough. So
he is so unhealthy looking, isn't he?
Dude, if you were telling me that guy is the founder of a $1 billion company, I'd be like, oh man, freaking good luck, dude. He's a freaking, he can't even talk. Like, how can you not even talk and run a company? So you're telling me someone else is speaking your words for you? Like, what? It needs to come from the founder. It needs to come from the person who's, captaining the ship without a lifeboat. Like, that guy has already made enough money to build freaking 10 lifeboats, and he's fucking sitting on that. Like, I don't trust a thing that comes out of his mouth. But, some people feel otherwise. If you want to be an ETH maxi and a fanboy, go for it. I'm going to stick and die on the hill of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the best thing out there. It's my favorite asset. Again, this is not financial advice. This is pure opinion. 99% of the shit in crypto is absolutely BS. It's all freaking random altcoin projects, promising all the hype, but never giving you anything in return. At Metafide, we always put our money where our mouth is. We're not afraid to go out there and talk about the shit that matters and basically show you guys we're building real products. We got better prediction markets, in my opinion, than Poly Markets and Kalshi. These guys are using freaking order books. Order books have been around since the freaking invention of the stock market. But, yet these guys still think it's the best method. Absolute BS. Binary options are no new invention. We did binary options back in the day on Mantle Network and had about 80,000 users. We won their AI fest. But again, we recognize binary options were not long-term, and we're not going to be viable as people started to realize that, once you get enough people in on the contract, it doesn't make sense to continue. They have a maximal limit. Go look at it today. Go look at Binance, PancakeSwap, one of the first inventors of the binary options. There's not a lot of volume that goes through those games. And again, the reason is because once there's only a certain time left in the game. The asset's volume is really going to only go up or down so much. People pile into one side. They're piling in, possibly getting a 20% return for 100% risk. It makes no sense. And that's why binary options become non-competitive at a certain point. And there's got to be a better way to do it. But you guys all right now focused on gambling and, doing things on Poly Markets, like all the sports books. The crypto markets, they make the most amount of money from. And yup, that makes sense to me, because anyone who has a 3.5% fee is absolutely stealing from you. But Yeti, how are you doing? What are your thoughts on today? We're super charged up over here during our supercharged event. What's going on with you?
I mean, I'm a gambler. I like, I'll have a punt on anything, so I don't mind poly markets really. But if people are playing it to like because they think they're like trading on it with a 3.5% fee, then you're not really doing it for the right reasons. I would say, like it's like like it's like like it's a more sophisticated game of two up, I would say, heads tails, and
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And I think you're right here. The fee on Hyperliquid is 0.045% or
That's its
4.5
highest.
bips.
That's its highest tier. That's its highest tier at a taker rate. So that's like it's like like absolute peak fee.
Yep. And that's
Very
more how everything should be done.
Yeah. You're
These
very
guys,
rarely
some of these
paying.
guys have 100% markup on their fee. Limitless
Yeah.
market. Big
Yeah.
Coinbase, big promoter. It's just like, Jesus, guys. Like, how do you guys expect to win with a 4.5% fee? I don't know. But keep attempting. If you want. Again, only 2.1% of users on poly markets have made over $1,000. The losses are overwhelming. And again, if you stay in there long enough with a fee that high, you know how hard it is to keep a win rate over 55% to make a 0.5% edge. It's the best quants in the world are trying to figure that out. So
I mean,
if you really
even
think you are the best quant, go for it.
even on. So I just as a you made me think of Hyperliquid. I just opened a 1 Bitcoin position, and even with their 0.04% fee, that's $31.50.
Yep.
Like it's like, and like I'll probably close that out when it moves $500, and so I don't know, that's a, now that I think about it, I'm losing close to 5% in my fee just there.
Mm-hmm. At least what I say about that is it's not taken off of not off the top, so it allows you to get your win in at least, and then close it out, and then it scales with it too.
Yep. And also I literally I just did the taker fee as well. Like I could have done the maker instead. I
So
should
did you
have
go
done the
long or
maker
short?
instead. Short.
All right, guys. If Yeti went short, I'll go long so that the short positions do well.
Just like $1 on it or something, like that.
No, it's got to be real. You got to
Let's
really put the
go.
risk on it. Can't trick the world.
You can't trick the
All right,
fate, you
guys. I'll
reckon?
go lose some money today so everyone else can make some money. Willing to do what it takes.
Doing God's work.
Exactly. Exactly, man. Man, this market's been extremely interesting. Nothing's coming out. Streaming interesting. I say that with sarcasm, right? Because it's like, show me something new. Show me something that's being built out there. Get me excited about something. The only thing I'm excited about is letting these dogs out. These guys are
Yep.
letting the dogs out. The degens are going to come here to play. That's my community. I'm Doge through and through. I love those guys. I love the mentality they've had. I like the Doge OS team a lot. Go check out what they're putting down. I think they just invited the first people out to their new V3 application, My Doge. So if you want to get some Doge before, things skyrocket again, not financial advice, but, get in there. People are going to be talking about it. I'm already seeing it start to stir up online. Big KOLs are posting charts. There's a commotion in the ocean, and the dogs are coming to play. So everyone go out there and check it out. These are the type of people I could fall behind because these guys got freaking diamond hands. What happened to diamond hands? I know it's just a way to abuse people as the big institutions dumped, but still, you got to have some belief system out there, So it's like,
Did you just open a long? Did you just open a long, by the way? Because it started dumping.
Yeah. So we're gonna be going having a nice ride right now. I'm doing it actually right now.
I thought you must have already done it. It dropped $100 in that minute.
No, if I keep doing it, it's just gonna keep going in the opposite direction. They're gonna say, "Oh, that's Matt. We're gonna close him out and just fuck him for all of his money." Guys, my wallet address is 0x 69420. Get it in, guys. But it's a good day for us out here. We're charged up. The team is more fired up than they've ever been before. And again, we're willing to do whatever it takes to help our community succeed and make this thing happen. So, guys, I hope you appreciate it when it does come. And you're going to see some changes over here as well because, we're tired of keeping our mouths shut. I think these realizations have hit everyone and people don't want to talk about it, but we're willing to talk about the things that people don't want to say. So that's a little bit about ourselves, the type of people we are. I'm here to defend and protect the people who don't have the means to. If you're a good person, I'm there for you. If you're a bad person, you're doing shit out there, you're getting close to Epstein's friends and, you're, manipulating people or you're, not being ethical out there in the market, I'm coming for you as well. I'm going to fuck you up. It's just how it's got to be. There's an army of us. There's people who believe in the same ideas we do. We're out here trying to assemble them. Let's get them together and let's get things rolling because now is the freaking time, man. The world's getting harder than it's ever been before. I'm talking to people all around the world. They're having the same issues we are in America. And I think people are really tired about it. And so it's our time right now to get this thing back on track. Let's bring some logic back into it, I don't want to hear stupid opinions unless you could back them up. It's like, hey, we're all people here. We all should have compassion for each other. Again, I think we're living in a world right now where if you had a blue button and a red button, and if 51% of the people push the blue button to save everyone's life, and a certain percentage, and if you push the red button, you get to save your life, not it with no regard to the other lives. I think we live in a world right now where people are going to push the red button, but I'm hoping, for better. And I think, we could have a world where we push the blue button and we're saving the better half we're saving the part of the world and people are willing to risk their lives out there to go make sure that the world is better because what's the point? What's the point if your kids can't walk on the street safely? What's the point if your kids can't receive the proper education you did? What's the point if they can't receive the same opportunities you did? It all becomes meaningless. So let's go out there and let's freaking kick the 1%'s ass. And like I've said, guys, we gotta end this fucking shit. Dude, I'm tired of the fucking racism. I'm tired of the fucking divide. I'm tired of people fucking classifying people towards one side versus the other. The world's not that black and white, and humans are a contradiction. And it's okay to, go back on your beliefs when you find something new. You don't need to freaking take your whole entire life and identify with someone else's beliefs. It's okay to have different beliefs, That's what makes us human. And that's the beautiful thing about it is we can have different beliefs. We can argue and debate about them. But what I want is people to come here with logic, and I want to actually solve these issues here. I don't want to just scoop everything underneath the rug and think everything could be happy. And, we're willing to go out that way. It's like if someone's going to try to put money in front of us to try to take this, to shut our mouths, I'm going to tell them, fuck you. Because that's the only way it should be. Nothing could change my mind at this point. I don't think anything could change Yeti's mind. We're willing to go out there and do the work for the rest of you guys because I care about everyone, and it's got to be said. It's only a matter of time, before things continue to get worse. And I do think things are going to get really bad before they get better. But what we got to do is band together and make sure that we're there to pick up the pieces and create the change we actually want to see out there in the world. And again, there's nothing out of question. You guys could use whatever tactics in war to get it done because I'm telling you, they're going to use everything they can against you in all different ways to keep you down, keep you suppressed. And I'm not going to stand for that anymore. I'm protecting female rights. I want to protect male rights. I want to protect human rights. But again, we're going to do it in a logical way. And so we got to look at all the things here and say, okay, who's actually getting affected by this or that? How can we actually fix these things? Yeah, some of these things might be a little harsh, but again, it's the reality of it, We got a lot of things to solve. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it here right now, it's like if someone's unhealthy and you got a friend who's overweight, tell them. And why I think that's okay is because, listen, the reality is their cholesterol is going to be high. They could have heart disease. They can get fatty liver disease. They could be dying in a year or two. Would you rather have your friend cry about it in the beginning and then live an extra 40, 50 years? Or do you want to just continue to freaking push things under the rug and now your friend is dying? And guess what? When your friend dies because no one said anything, you're going to feel guilty about it. And so you have the time right now to step up and try to change things. Again, it's not going to be easy. It's going to taste sour. Sour Patch Kids are really sweet at the end of the day.
A week ago, I was clip farming you, trying to, when I was just mentioning something like this, I was clip farming you. And now you're just out there, bam, 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 bam.
Yep. Guys, that's the direction we're moving towards. I'm not gonna spoon feed you guys bullshit. I'm not gonna give you the typical things that everyone wants to hear and say. Like, guess what? The truth is fucking harsh. That's the reality of it. The reality of the world we live in, it's shit right now. You want to fuck off. You want to fucking ignore the signs of the world. You want to go do drugs and fucking sit in a cave all day and ponder about how you're going to change the world, but not get out there and actually do anything about it. Fuck you. You're going to get kicked out because you're fucking sitting there thinking you have entitlement and that you deserve these types of things when you don't. You come into this world with nothing. You leave with this world with nothing. You don't deserve shit. Go out there and go prove yourself and get the actual work done. It's a matter of time. We got a lot of things to reverse. The world's gone really bad. And guess what? It's not going to be fucking easy. So get out there, untether yourself, and go get it done. And like I said, there's rock climbers out there who take ropes, and there's free solarers. The free solarers, yeah, they could freaking die. But what I'm telling you is they're making sure every single move they do is as calculated as possible because their life is on the line. And guess what? If they do fall off that cliff, all right, so be it. They died doing exactly what they wanted to do, and they're happy about it. And they wouldn't have gone out in any other way. So guess what? I'm freaking unclipping myself. I'm going to be unhinged, and I'm going out here to say the real things that matter to people because it's about time someone did it, I can't take it anymore. And again, just remember, I'm doing this all with compassion. I care about every one of you. I'm sick and tired of seeing people get screwed over by this world, and I'm not going to stand for it. And I'm willing to burn it all down for myself just to be able to get that messaging out there, guys. So don't say I didn't try. Yeti, how you feeling? That's a lot for everyone. We should probably clip that today too. Let's get that clip out there, and start rotating that. But it's a matter of time, dude.
You need to. What's the? Far out. Where do I even see the timer? I can't see the timer for some reason right now.
We're at.
There used to be a timer there.
18 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yep.
Right now.
Yep, I see it.
That's where we're at. Yeah, we'll get it out there. We'll let people know there's a directional shift in Metafide, and it's we're ready to say the real things at whatever cost, because I'm gonna do whatever it takes for our community to do well, and I'm not worried about it. I think I've talked with a lot of people in person. I've gone over these ideas, and a lot of people it takes them a little time to come around, but usually when they have those realizations for themselves, they thank you for it, because no one else was going to tell them that thing. So I'm willing to go tell you that. And again, I do it all out of compassion. I want to see people do well. I want to see everyone succeed and be successful. And the more people that we can empower, the more people that we can get wealthy, then the more ability we have to change the world, right? You don't get a rich man richer because he's already got the money and he hasn't done anything with it. What you do is you take the people who are the ones building the society. You go to the blue collar workers, you go to the teachers, you go to the firemen, you go to the police, these people who are willing to put their life on the line and take the risk of not making a lot of money to do what's morally good for people. And those are exactly the type of people we want to support. We see you out there. We see you working really hard. We see you get kicked down by the man consistently. And guess what? I'm willing to come in here and scoop you down and try to bring you up with us, because that's the only way it can work. We all go up together. And with that, what I hope is once you do get the money and the power to do it, you just continue to distribute it out to the right people. And I'm not talking about fucking trickle down economics, because that shit doesn't work. You give, again, billionaires more money, and what do they become? An ultra billionaire, right? If you give someone on the ground floor who's actually doing the work and knows the people in the community around them, and they're willing to go out there and distribute it. And it's got to be localized, guys. You don't need to worry about solving the whole issues of the world. Go solve it in your local community, because these are people who know you and places you're held accountable. So, continue to do that, and things will turn out better, I promise. It's a good world we live in, man. It's a beautiful life. We just got to get it back to where it used to be.
Have you seen that? That just makes me think of that. Oh man, it was like this clip of when it was like when the Iran war first started, and it's people in, I think it's a band playing in either Iran or maybe a country that's like between Israel and Iran, and they're like this band is playing "It's a Wonderful Life" as these missiles are like flying through the air overhead. It's like everything's, it's all falling apart, it's all fucked. It's a wonderful life.
It is, and that's beautiful. Very profound. That's just the way it is. It's like, okay, it's a beautiful life. No one can take that away from you. Unless you decide to fall into the system and fall into their beliefs, then yeah, like, of course it's going to be taken away from you, because you're getting fed the bullshit and you're believing it, And like I said, it's not going to be easy. It's the whole point of the world, dude. You're born into this reality, not to just coast by and not use your brain and think. You're born here because you have the spirit and you're willing to take the challenge, and if you want to just basically do nothing, then fine. That's your right as well. And I'm not going to disagree with that either, because I still think people deserve and have the free will to do what they want. You can't take away someone's free will. And, if you try, again, we're going to go up against you and try to block you, because I don't want anyone manipulating people. What I do want is positive influence out in the world. It's a very fine line between the two. But, not everyone has the same tools and the same background that you do. So when you have the chance to help people out, try to influence them positively. It's a beautiful life, man. We're very lucky.
You should look at that video that I just sent you.
I'll check it out. That's amazing. And these people are so strong. I've seen it a bunch of times. Like, these people have gotten used to these conditions. Like, they're, they go on because they know there's nothing else. I've seen videos where bombs are dropping near people and they're continuing to be on their computer. Like, I watched that guy Aset from Iran, and he's a logical, really sound person, good guy, and he makes videos talking about the situation in Iran, and you literally hear missiles go off in the background, and like these bombs drop and make explosions, and he carries on like nothing has ever happened. And
it is wild, isn't it? Like, yeah, and you see people walking down the street, like, of this, like, area that's just been absolutely shattered, and they're just, like, on their phones, or, like, kids playing a game with each other. It's just, like, life does just go on, hey? It's, yeah.
No. Life goes on, man. It's like, can't control everything around you. All you can do is control your outlook on it. Yeah. And if you let that shit take you down, then you're going down with it. But if you maintain the positivity, and you become your own light source, no one can take that away from you, ever. And that's what I want everyone here to have. I want everyone to have their own light source and their ability, and I want them to have their own shields so that no one can ever take those beliefs and that power away from them. You only can if you believe it to be true. And guess what, guys? It's all fucking lies. It's all lies. They're trying to feed you guys to manipulate your brain and make you think that you can't do anything about it. But what I tell you is you can. And I've seen it. I've seen these motherfuckers get scared as hell. I've seen it in 2011, right? I'll go back to this. 2008 in America, we almost ended racism. Okay. We had our first black president in the US and no one was up in arms about it. And like I said, I don't disagree. I don't agree with any party. I am an independent. I think both parties are usually the same hand of the same beast. But at the time, Obama ran a kick-ass campaign. No one could deny it. He had the right colors. He had the right messaging of hope. He went out there and he spoke like a very, a very moderate like Democrat, someone who's very in between. And he got people from the Republican side to vote for him as well. And he won that election and he went into office. And I'm telling you, he was the fucking man. He did all the things, to get to where he was. And he got the people's, opinions and rallied them. And he made himself get into office. And again, I think racism almost ended in the US. People weren't a bunch of ups in arms about it. You didn't see a bunch of protests about it. You had people online all talking with each other, all different diversities. We had all the internet games going out there and people were able to take a joke. People were making fun of people. They all thought it was funny. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. And we kind of lived in that world, right? And then what ended up happening is people stopped disagreeing with each other. These classes that were once divided came together in harmony. And what it did is it created things like Occupy Wall Street in 2011 because the world was still going bad, yet we had ended things like racism. And they're like, what the heck is going on here? Like, why is the world still bad? And then people started to turn on the 1% of billionaires and say, hey, it's you assholes who are making this world bad. And it's you guys who are trying to keep us divided. And what we're all going to do is we're going to stick together, black, white, Indian, Pakistani, wherever you come from. And we're going to rally against you guys because you guys are hurting us globally. And what happened is 2011 came around. Guys like BlackRock shit their pants and said, oh man, what we need to do is make sure that this never happens again, right? So what they went out there to do is the biggest corporations in the world started funding both sides. They started funding Democrats. They started funding Republicans. I know VC funds, again, that were funding both sides of the campaign. The reason they're funding both sides of the campaign is because, again, it's the same hand. It's the same. Both arms are the exact same character. They just come with two different appearances on them. But what they went out there to do is they went to go divide the people again, because if you have division, you have people fighting amongst each other and not focusing on the real problems here. And this is our time right now to end that shit and get together and start focusing on the real problems and the people who are ruining our lives out here. And I can tell you without a doubt, this is real, man. Talk to your grandparents. Find out the world that they lived in. Find out the stuff that was in their school system and the stuff that they learned about. Find out about what it used to be like living in your country, in the last 60 years. Of course, everyone has a different situation. Some countries have come along really well, and there are a bunch of improvements to them. And some countries have fallen behind. And what I can tell you here is in America, they told us we're the best country in the world. They fed everything down our throat, like we're the most powerful, untouchable country, and that we have the best economy and the best infrastructure. And what I can tell you is that's absolute bullshit. I talk about it all the time. Look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh used to be a great city during like the time of the steel industry. And, what they had was booming jobs. People could go work for the steel industry, buy a fresh new Cadillac, buy a new house, and send their kids off to college to have a better life than they did. And they did that. It literally happened. And then one day we came in and they raised taxes. The bigger corporations decided to outsource the steel to places like China. And when they did, all those jobs disappeared overnight. And what those towns were left in ruins. You have the reminiscences of old steel factories. You have houses that have never been rebuilt. And if you look at the city of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, you have 8 bridges that connect that city together. All of those bridges and that infrastructure is crumbling. One of those bridges could go down any day now, but they've never been able to regain the resources or the power to fix that because our infrastructure cost outweighs our budget now. And that's a perfect example and why I'm telling you they're lying to you, because we can't.
Well, it's because they're fucking spending, they're building missiles to bomb bridges instead of spending the money to fix them.
Exactly. We're giving all of our money to all these other countries and all these other places instead of protecting our own community. And for what reason? What is this big beast out there in the world that's trying to destroy everyone and take everyone down? I promise you, it's these billionaires that are doing it. It's a small group of people who are trying to control the money supply. They're out there making sure that guys like you and me can't succeed. And what I'll do is I will not stand for it. I'll do whatever it takes to get this done for you guys. And I want to just bring back, it's very simple. I want to bring back localized community. I want people to care about the other ones around you. I want you to take care of your family. I want you to talk to your family. I want you to do the things where you can impact around you. Just focus on that. And if each one focuses on our local community, this can create a massive change throughout the world. And again, it may seem small. It might just be one ripple, in the ocean. But again, enough of that and you create a tsunami that can come knocking everything down. And again, it doesn't look like a tsunami is coming when you're out there in the middle of the ocean. Everything looks completely flat, right? And it's not till you go to the surface that you see that massive wave about to smack you, and it feels like it came out of nowhere. Let's go out there. Let's keep adding our drops. Let's create some commotion, and let's build a tsunami. And these guys won't even see it coming. We're going to take it right from underneath them. So, I'm just going to leave that here today. We've come to our time. Don't worry. I'll continue on these topics and these rants. I appreciate you guys for sticking through and being with us and letting you guys know we're willing to do whatever it takes to get this done. Yeti, any last comments?
No, that was great.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Guys, let's get our freaking warrior hats on and our armor because we're ready to fight. So let's get it done. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.